I will continue part 2 with irony. In the merchant's tale, January believes that Damian is a dutiful and loyal servant, thereby asking me to visit and comfort him when he is informed that Damian is sick. This is ironical because he is not loyal and converts his master's wife, to whom he declares love, and she reciprocates. The outcome of the above, as the two fled with one another in under the roof of his master, highlights infidelity and deception. In addition, the two are planning to cuckold January in his garden of love by fabricating a false key. And she lets him get into the garden and on the tree where she wants to meet him to have sexual gratification. And that is plot. In And Palm Wine Will Flow, there is irony when the fawn turns against the sacred institutions of the land. This is ironical because the fawn is the custodian of the tradition of the land. He turns the palace to a place of pleasure where the revered red feather is handed over to Tom, Dick, and Harry, and there is constant eating and drinking instead of discussing important things that will take care of the welfare of the people. He does not consult the council of elders in any decision making. He takes decision all by himself. Worst of all, he does not even believe in the gods of the land. When he refers to Shango as a self-declared priest of non-existent gods, the fawn's actions and audacity highlights bad governance and provokes conflict between him and his subjects. In A Raisin in the Sun, there is irony that the youngest are expecting the check, which the thing will take care of many dreams, but it adds to many problems to the family. It is ironical because the check becomes a source of conflict between Beatrice and Walter, who believes that Bennetta's school will get a large cut from the money. Also, between Mama and Walter, when she uses part of the money to buy a house without informing any family member, and Walter believes that his mother has killed his dream. Lastly, Walter loses the rest of the money in a reckless investment, which he had been won, making Lena to slap him and Bennetta to call him a fool. This irony is very important because it highlights conflict. In questions concerning humor, note that humor can be generated through exaggeration, irony, simile, metaphor, or imagery. Nevertheless, you must say what makes the instance humorous and the reason for the use of the humor. What does it bring out? Is it a theme? Does it paint out character? Or does it help to propel the plot? In flashback, remember that the element or action that is retrospected on must have a bearing with what is happening in the present, else it will be considered a digression. The flashback must help the reader to understand the motivation of some of the characters and their actions and the outcome of some actions in the text. Take note of other narrative devices such as vivid description, hyperbole, stream of consciousness, and so on and so forth. Let me bring out something. Point of view, which is the perspective from which the story is told. It shapes how the reader experiences the narration and can influence their understanding of characters and events in the story. Point of view is very important because, 1, it helps to give the character insight. It shapes the reader's perception of the character's thoughts, feelings, and motivations. and motivations. The first person narrative can create intimacy, while the third omniscient can provide more objective view. Point of view ensures the narrative's reliability. The first person may be biased, but the omniscient narrator can offer a more balanced perspective. The point of view also creates emotional impact by choosing certain perspective. The first person account can make experiences feel immediate and personal. Point of view can also emphasize themes by framing the story through a specific character's belief or experiences, influencing how readers interpret the narrative. Shifting point of view can also create suspense or reveal crucial information at strategic moments affecting the plot and the reader's understanding and engagement. Note, we have the first person narrative that uses I or we to make the narrative personal and controlled by the narrator. The third person limited narrator is outside the story, but insight into one character's thoughts, but has insight into one of the character's thoughts. While the third person omniscient narrator knows everything about all characters and events, offering a broader perspective about the narrative. I think that this insight is important for us to be able to help our students to answer their questions properly.